I'd have chosen my low-heeled boots, an airy blouse, and walking skirt, and a hat. Instead, I'm a panting, sweaty mess. The hem of my too-long day dress is filthy, and my already unruly auburn hair has been subjected to the violent whims of the breeze. They don't call this the wind court for nothing, and by now half my tresses have fallen loose from their updo. A particularly stubborn lock has even wound itself around one arm of my spectacles. I'd stopped to fix my hair, but I really can't afford yet another distraction. I've already had too many for one day. The first was on the train. I emerged from my sleeper cabin to enter the dining car for breakfast, where I was seated near two Fae males dressed in fine suits. I knew they were Fae because of their pointed ears, not to mention one had horns, while the other had a long whip-like tail. Despite my best efforts, I couldn't tear my eyes from them, and not just because they were Fae. While I am still getting used to seeing people who are hardly more than myth where I am from, I was more fascinated by their beauty. They were two of the most beautiful males I'd ever laid eyes on, and the longer I admired them, the faster my imagination began to spin. Before I knew it, I had my pen, inkwell, and notebook in hand, my breakfast forgotten, and I was chronicling a tale of heart-wrenching romance. I named the characters Johannes and Timothy. Johannes, the one with horns, was a surgeon, and he'd saved the life of Timothy with the tail. They fell hopelessly in love, but their budding relationship was stuck by a shocking twist of fate. Johannes was the former fiancé of Timothy's best friend, and when I got to the love scene, I just knew Timothy would do something delicious with that tail. And that was how I missed my stop. Those closest to me have always said my imagination would be my downfall. They might be right if it wasn't also the very reason I'm here. I was invited to the Isle of Fairway because of my imagination, or more accurately, the books it helps me produce. Back home in Britain, I'm a nobody, an unknown author with little to her name. But by some miracle, I'm slightly famous in Fairway, this fantastical isle where humans and Fae live side by side. At least, that's what my publisher told me when he proposed a month-long tour for my newest book, the first book I've written about Fae characters. This was supposed to be my chance to prove myself worthy of the publishing contract I've secured, a rather generous contract, mind you, especially compared to the meager coins I make in Britain for my years of hard work. I was hoping my book tour would result in another contract. Yet my hopes have been unraveled every day since I left home, because today isn't my first mishap. Technically speaking, I am 2 weeks late to my own book tour. 2 weeks. I swear nothing that happened before today was my fault. I nearly weep with relief once I finally spot Wuthering Avenue and glimpse the sign that reads, Flight of Fancy Bookshop across the street. The blisters marring my ankles scream in protest as I wait with the other pedestrians for a break in carriage traffic. They scream even louder as I rush across the street. I'm gasping for breath by the time I stop outside the bookshop, and despite the relentless stream of people weaving around me, I abandon all sense of both vanity and pride. I lower my arms, drop my carpet bag onto the sidewalk, and mutter a desperate, "Thank God." A chuckle emerges from a man I hadn't previously noticed amidst the bustle of sidewalk. I'm doubled over, catching my breath, as he pushes off the wall he was leaning against and gives me an amused once-over. He looks to be my age, or a few years younger. I'm 9 and 20, so that puts him around 5 and 20, perhaps. He's tall and slender, possessing the kind of roguish beauty that is so haphazard it must be genuine. His hair is a pale blonde that falls in lazy curls over one brow. From the rounded curve of his ears, he's human, or at least partially so. Only pure-blood Fae have pointed ears. He wears grey slacks, a matching waistcoat, and a crooked cravat. His sleeves are rolled to his elbows and his hands are tucked in his trouser pockets. Pressed between his lips is a cigarillo. But based on the sweet floral vanilla scent that fills the air between us, he isn't smoking the cloying tobacco that is popular in Britain. For all I know, it's some fancy Fae herb. His proximity to the bookstore suggests he's either a shop patron or perhaps a